Yeah.
We wrote about 4 or 5 papers that were published in Bolivia at the time in the PrinzaMedica, the Bolivian medical journal. That was interesting. That had to be in Spanish, so we did it in English and worked with Peace Corps translators to get it into shape for publication. We produced our own reports that we had printed up and published in a sort of primitive way, but we tried to document what was going on in this TB control program. We thought that was important for Peace Corps because remember that this was early on when the Peace Corps began to really focus on categories of effort for volunteers to address rather than just being community development.
To be fair, it was the first of its kind. The program for the Peace Corps that you and John worked on was the first of its kind. You were pioneers in this particular application, and everyone you met after that understood you were an expert. You were an expert right out of the box.
At a low level, yes. At a low level. But it helped confirm for me that was important. But I also said, if this is just following, if this is just a one-off, then I better be prepared to be competitive when we got back. And to be competitive meant I would need to finish my residency in medicine and consider getting or trying to pass internal medicine boards. I never did the latter because during my 2 years of internal medicine residency, while they went basically well, and I did all right, I was not real happy. And we had lots of discussions about that and what could I do? And I said, well, if I'm really going to address this public health stuff, then I have to learn about it. And so I began to explore what the options were. And the option we landed on, I thought, well, I ought to at least get a master's degree in public health and see what that does. And it turned out that Harvard School of Public Health had a special Master of Public Health program for physicians, which was just 9 months long. They essentially accepted as background a lot of the courses we had in medical school, basic epidemiology, basic infectious disease, that sort of stuff, and then developed a curriculum just for physicians. So I said, well, while Ardith's parents and her family wondered if I would ever get a real job, I thought investing an additional 9 months to get a degree that might really help me settle my own sense of what is best for me would be time well spent. And we got lucky. There was a grant program to help support physicians becoming involved in public health through the federal government. We applied and got it, and it covered most of my basic academic expenses, tuition and so on. But we were able to then go to Boston and spend 9 months. Ardith didn't have to work. We had enough income from this grant to manage it because we really didn't have any housing costs.
Okay, now at that point, I'm going to put the recording on hold here and stop it.
Recording stopped.
That's